Hello. All right, here we go. The cues. I expect us actually to go up. Here we are. I expect us, well, open near 642 or above it, and then spike above it. And then I think, well, it's Friday OPEX. It can do anything. It could squeeze all day. I don't know. But I kind of expect it to open over 642, get to some level above it. Maybe up here 644, 645. And then I think start selling because we're starting to get big divergences here on the hourly. And so that'll probably wind up with this, the 4 hour crossing over at some point. But I mean, we are still in this super steep squeeze until we're not. So that's just what I'm watching. And that got way off. No, it really didn't. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm watching. When it breaks that trend line, or when it breaks this one. So that's what I'm watching on cues. Oh, here's one. This one up 15% the other day. This is, as you can see, very bullish. That's the daily. You can see how long this has been consolidating at the bottom here. And we just crossed, look at that, the 50 over the 200. And that's what we're spiking off of. So once we clear this 275 level, which we're at, if we hold and stay above that, then we should climb to this $5 level, 480 to $5, I think. That could be as low as 360, but I mean, you're still talking almost $1 from where you're at now. Yeah, I'm just going to go down a few of the stocks that I'm in that I like. This is IPI. This is fertilizer. This is a near no-brainer. Again, the blue is wheat. The yellow is corn. Two commodities that I'm also in. Here's the daily. I think we're ready to start flying. We haven't officially, and nothing's official, just my official. We haven't really broken out yet, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say we will. Here's Hallador. This is coal, Midwest coal specifically. Looking good. Looks like our downtrend is almost over. We should pop through here. I expect a big day in this tomorrow. Hawaiian Electric had a 4% is actually a monster day for this. But look at this. Look at the Bollingers right there. I expect us $15.94, $16, and then pull back some. But I like this Hawaiian Energy. That should be on the move again, I think. Looking to tag this 200 on the weekly at about 1990, but ultimately fill this gap here at 3260, about 3250 right in there. And those are both in the, well, I didn't talk about the other one, Otter Tail. I'm also in, and those are both in the XLU, which I'm also in, which I think is going to make a, I think it's going to start making a move here. Again, you can see the daily candle there. We're below the 5. This little line is the 5 MA, the 5-day moving average. The mid Bollinger here, that's an 18 on mine. And the green line is the 50. And so look at that right where they're all at. But we're above the 18 and the 50 and the 200 down here. And the bottom Bollinger is turning up. So I'm thinking that we probably bust through this 5-day moving average and challenge this trend, which magically matches up with where that upper Bollinger is, right at 47.20 or so. And then we'll see where we go from there. Personally, I think we break out of this. But we could, I mean, it could collapse and then break out. So you never know. Just watching it. Cleveland Cliffs. What to do with Cleveland Cliffs? I would like to think this is done, but I just don't believe that it is. It did get down to 560. It had 5 up. But there's no divergence here, which tells me this is just this is either a 4 or it's just some kind of intermediate flat or something diagonal. And then we're going to spike down again and then take off. But this is not a clean, I don't like this. I didn't like where it landed. I think it should have landed lower. And so I still believe that. So I do not trust Cliff here. I think we come down. And you can see on the weekly stochastic that it's pointed down still. Even after this monster rally. So I don't trust this. I think this comes down again. Okay. Let's they wanted to look at some uranium. Some hypers in particular. I think these are actually going to pop again. I think today, but I never like to predict a day. I think it should be soon. Look how odd this is. These are all red candles climbing up. I mean, that's... Yeah, they either drop this, which would be great, or this lifts. The reason that I think it lifts is because these look, I mean, just ridiculously bullish. REMX, uranium, URNM, URA. I mean, the only thing that's wrong with these is they're so bullish, they're outside the Bollinger. And that just means that they're outside of the daily expected move. When they do that, usually you pull back, and you usually don't do it more than 4 times. So a pullback down to the 5 MA, 53 would be fine, but I mean, these all just look ridiculously bullish. So on even if they do pull back, like if this does pull back, I'm a buyer of that. And yeah, that's all I think it's doing. It just went too far, and so it's relieving pressure, and it might relieve it again, drop down like 1121 here, and then go. For SMR, I imagine it's the same. Hit the 50 MA and the upper Bollinger. So again, this could pull back. This could pull all the way back and close this gap at 956. That would be awesome if it had a huge pullback. As long as it holds this low, then I'm fine. Yeah, I think these are all, I think these are all going to pull back one time and then take off. That looks really bullish. That looks like it's trying to break through. And they all could do that. They're just, these look more like rising wedges to me that are going to drop. But I mean, that's a pretty good candle. You're just not over the mid Bollinger yet. Now this one is. Oh, no, it's not. I lied. Just kidding. So these could drop again. Or, I mean, if they want to stay really bullish, they could push up. But I'm a buyer of the drop, the dips in these. Oh, I want to go back to the cues and talk about something real quick. I believe this is a flat. I believe it's an irregular flat. This entire structure is a 4-wave irregular flat. And here's your A, B, C for A, and then here's your B, and flat and violently. So when this is over, I'm expecting it to come down and retest this, and actually I expect it to break this. And I said you usually don't stay out of the Bollinger more than 4 days. There you are. The gap is down here at 588. I think that definitely gets closed, and I actually think we go lower. I just wanted to show that on the cues real quick, because I think, oh, that looks like a breakout. But other of these I think are flats. Because I don't like that bottom. I don't like how that bottomed. So I think these are flats the same way as the market. And so I think these are going to turn down. This might actually be breaking out. And again, this goes with the drone technology. They want 3D printed drones. That's the new combat. ASTS, again, a 4% day after that. Those two monstrous down days. I still think it goes down. I'm still short it. AMPX, this is lithium. Lithium's in the rare earths, which I showed earlier, which are flying. Quantum, I reshorted here. I was short from up here, and then I covered down here. Yeah, like 15, I think. And I just shorted it again. I don't know what to make of that quite yet. This one, when I read that their earnings were on the 23rd, I instantly covered my short position, which was right in here. And then it just took off. I didn't know it was going to do this. I didn't know it was going to have a 14% day, but yeah, when I read that, I was like, oh, they're going to run this all the way to earnings. And again, this is something that on any pullback I want. I just think they could get a massive squeeze here going into earnings. We'll see. This isn't something that I would jump up on here. I'd wait for a pullback. I mean, that was a huge move. It's way outside the Bollinger. Now there's something I wanted to show because I find it interesting how you have the market making new highs, yet the leader is not. That's a huge red flag to me when Nvidia is not making new highs, but the market is. And again, I think this is a flat. I think this is your A, B, C, A, then here's your B, and then I think I actually think this comes down. It'll probably come down to 184 and then bounce. But ultimately, I think it comes down way down, like 145. Although that's hard to tell because it did have a clean breakout. But again, flats lie because that did not have divergence on it. So my thinking is this has a big drop. Although probably not just one drop. It's probably choppy at the start at least. Taiwan semis is another one. Didn't make new highs. Google didn't make new highs. And that, again, that looks like a flat. This looks like A, B, and then I think we're going to shoot down. I don't like those charts. Those went up way too fast. Microsoft could, it could have a huge move still. But again, I'm still bearish on this. I think this is going to roll over. Europe are canceling orders. They're going to open source government programs. They're dumping Microsoft. Well, they're dumping all US tech. Europe is. So, there's all kinds of problems in tech. All kinds. That's not somewhere that I want to be. Now, the exceptions are like Micron, but again, this didn't hit an area where I wanted to buy, and then it flipped around, and I just thought this was ridiculous. So I wasn't touching this at all on the way up, and I think this rolls down to 260 or so. I still think that was my target this whole time, and I still think that. Yeah, your monthly just turned over, so I think this finally gets the big drop. And that goes with my view on crypto. Here's Bitcoin. And again, Bitcoin can pop to this 78.3. I think it could go all the way to this 200 here at 86 if it really wanted to. But then I think it rolls over. Ethereum is the same boat, although I think this rolls over now. But those are my views of the market. There's sectors that I definitely want to be in, like rare earths. Definitely rare earths. I still like energy, although XOP is not my preferred. I prefer the OIH over XLE also. Where's my OIH? There we go. That's my preferred ETF. But like you saw, I do also have utilities and I have uranium. So that's where I'm at. I'm at OIH XLU, URA. Oh, there's my OIH. OIH. And RMX. That's what I'm rolling with. All right, let's take a closing look at the cues. I was like, daily, too far to be looking. Okay. Look, this is even building bearish divergence in just the 5 minute. I think VIX is getting there, starting to turn. There it is. Oil. Let's take a look at oil. I'm still bullish on oil. If the market wants to pop and they want to flush oil down to 82.69, then I'm fine with that. I will be a buyer of many things oil related. This looks much like crypto. This looks like a rising wedge. So I think we probably do get one more drop down here to 82.60 or so. And then we rise. But overall, I'm definitely bullish on oil. All right. And with that, I'm going to sign off and actually try to get some sleep now that tax season is done. All right. Be safe, be wise, be bold, and as always, good luck.